When you look at where the biggest amusement parks are on the map, they are almost always located in big cities. Except for you, Cedar Point, what the hell are you doing? But in all seriousness, I don't blame these parks one bit. When you have a city like Los Angeles who has several million people living in it and even more people visiting, it's no wonder that you'd want to put your park there. It's literally a gold mine profit-wise, so good on you Universal and Six Flags, and you too Disney and Knott's. But where most parks are strategically situated in heavily populated areas, there's still a fair share of big US cities that are parkless to this day. So in this video, I will be counting down the top 10 US cities that desperately need a new theme park. I know not all the cities on this list have no park, but really think about it. Can you ever have too many amusement parks? Plus, a lot of those parks are quite small, meaning a large-scale park could easily complement it. With that being said, I'd like to say before we begin that if you haven't already, a like and subscription would be appreciated very much. But other than that, I look forward to sharing my list of the top 10 US cities in need of a new theme park. Here we go. Number 10, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, as much as the next guy, I would love to see a large-scale amusement park be built in Vegas. The reason I don't think it'll happen anytime soon is because it's been attempted before, and for one reason or another, it's very difficult to find success in new amusements here. So that's why I put it at the bottom of the list, but I still think it would be pretty cool. Obviously, Adventure Dome is the only legit park in Las Vegas right now, and while it's a neat place, I think a larger park would complement it perfect. I particularly think that a Six Flags park in the area sounds so right. But like I said, none of this is probably going to happen, so we can only really hope. Number 9, Memphis, Tennessee. One of the larger cities in the state, Memphis has been void of an amusement park for a very long time. While writing this script, I was going back and forth between this city and Nashville. I definitely think either could work, but I went with Memphis because I think Dollywood attracts more people from Nashville than Memphis. But if a park were built in Nashville, that's fine. Competition is always a good thing. Now, Memphis currently has a metro population of around 1.3 million people. This number probably isn't enough to support a massive amusement park like Cedar Point or Six Flags Magic Mountain, but I still think a medium-sized park would work wonders. Maybe even something a tad bit bigger. That's just me though. Let's move on to the number 8 spot. Number 8, Denver, Colorado. I understand that Denver already has Elitch Gardens and a couple of smaller amusements to go along with it, but I still think they should have something a bit bigger. Two things could happen that I'd be perfectly fine with. Obviously, they could just build a new park here, or they can unleash Elitch Gardens' potential and expand it like crazy. But with the possibility of that park closing forever soon, that simply will not happen. So for when the time comes, I think some chain or family business should look into expanding into Colorado's biggest city. With the metro area consisting of Denver, Aurora, and Lakewood, I think the 2.9 million could easily support a slightly larger than medium scale amusement park. Plus, this isn't even to mention Boulder and Colorado Springs, who you can easily draw people in from as well. Number 7, Portland, Oregon. Every time I visit Portland to see family, I scratch my head and wonder why there aren't more amusement parks situated in the Northwest. For Portland in particular, the metro area of 2.4 million is perfect for a medium to large scale park. Plus, you can draw people in from Seattle, Salem, Eugene, and even Vancouver, Canada. Truthfully, I think it's bizarre that Oaks is all they got to work with. It's a charming little trolley park, but I genuinely think this city could do a whole lot better for the population they've got to work around. Number 6, Seattle, Washington. Located up north from Portland, Seattle's another city that even more so than Portland leaves me wondering why there isn't any big amusement park here. I know they have Wild Waves theme park and they do support one of the most prominent fairgrounds in the country, but I still firmly believe that they could do much better. As with the aforementioned Portland metro area, you could attract all those people to Seattle alongside Vancouver, Canada, and Spokane, Washington. I know many will complain about the weather conditions and all the rain, but take it from experience, the weather in this section of the country isn't as rainy and miserable as many make it out to be. Plus, you also have the alternative option of building a theme park indoors. So in my opinion, there isn't an excuse to why there isn't a big amusement park in Seattle, Washington. Number 5, Austin, Texas. If you look at Dallas and San Antonio nearby, two of the largest metropolitan areas and fastest growing cities in America, they both have their fair share of amusements. One that really doesn't though is Austin, who is rapidly growing in population and boasts perfect weather conditions year-round. I get that there is serious competition nearby, but a new theme park in Austin just sounds like it would work so well. To be honest though, I don't have much more to add. Other than that, I really think somebody should expand into Austin. I think it would be a great idea. Number 4, Honolulu, Hawaii. While I think this could work for a couple different cities in Hawaii, Honolulu being the most populated makes the most sense to me. The metro population of almost 1 million people is, in my opinion, enough to support the state's first theme park. And besides, none of that is including the ridiculous amount of visitors that Hawaii gets every single year. Honestly, I'm surprised that Hawaii doesn't even have something little. They have quite literally no operating roller coaster here. I personally think it's finally time to change that and give the state something at least medium-sized. It doesn't have to be huge, and I know the weather conditions could be tricky to work around, but like I said with Seattle, you can always build something indoors too. An indoor park is typically something not too big and not too small anyways, which again is what I think Honolulu really could benefit from. Number 3, Houston, Texas. Unlike most of the cities on this list, Houston hasn't always been void of any large amusement parks. Six Flags Astro World was a huge hit for a long time, but unfortunately shut down in 2005. I know many residents of Houston really miss the place and hate that they have to drive 3 to 4 hours for another big amusement park. Yes, we know they have boardwalk parks, but they really need something to fill in that missing gap that Astro World once held. At the time I'm making this video, there are ongoing plans to build a park called Grand Texas and open it in 2023. I think this is exactly what the city needs, and while the status of this project is currently unknown, I'm hoping they stay true to making it happen. This park really does sound awesome actually, and I'm not sure why no one's talking about it. If Grand Texas is built, you'll for sure see me on a flight to Houston to check it out. But until that happens, I'm going to continue to whine and pout about why there isn't any major amusements in the area. Number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. Oh boy, this city could use something like this so bad. I'm sure many of you guys know how I feel about Phoenix, Arizona. No offense to any of my viewers who live there or near it, but there really is a lack of things to do here. A step in the right direction would absolutely to build a major year-round theme park with a bunch of rides and coasters. Currently, they do have COVID and coasters, one of the better and more unique small theme parks I've been to, but something bigger is absolutely necessary still. Phoenix and its metro area holds a crap ton of people, almost 5 million to be exact. So please, someone bless this city and do something for them. I know I'll get arguments in the comments saying that the weather conditions would not be suitable for a large theme park, but if Magic Mountain can work, I think this could too. Plus, as I've said numerous times, an indoor park is always an option as well. Number 1, Miami, Florida. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, either one of them desperately needs a new park. I feel endlessly bad for any of my fellow enthusiasts living here because Uncle Bernie's just is not cutting it. Besides, with the loss of the Dania Beach hurricane, the situation has really only gotten worse. As with many of the cities on this list, I'm sure you guys would be like, wait, the hurricanes, the humidity, this could be impossible. But tell me then, how are there over 10 parks in the Orlando area? I don't even want to hear it. You've got 6.1 million people split between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, which is more than capable of supporting a huge park. I know there's always been talks to debut a new Nickelodeon Universe American Dream project here, but with the uncertainty behind that project, I don't know what I'm supposed to think. If that does happen, that's great and it's a step in the right direction, but as it sits right now, my condolences go out to any of my viewers from South Florida. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you agreed with my list, but even if you didn't, or actually even if you did, I would love to hear down in the comments what US cities need a new theme park. I can personally think of a couple more off the top of my head, so who knows, maybe one day I'll come back and make a part 2 to this video. If you made it this far, let me just say that I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed and I'll see you all very soon. Bye guys.